Welcome to SBSC. We're here for another amazing interview and discussion with Ben Sweet of Ben Sweet, Justin Becker and Associates from Calgary, Alberta.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm so excited you're here. Ben and I met, it was just over a year ago in New
Yeah,
York City, which is crazy because we're both in Alberta. And then we had to go to New York for an event. We didn't have to, but that's how we met. We're
yeah.
in New York at an event, and both of us were solo. So we ended up hanging out and getting to know each other, and we made a really good connection. I felt like Ben was so easy to talk to. You asked so many questions, like you were so inquisitive. I came away from that couple of days away, and I think I've told you, you've changed my life.
Wow.
I felt like just getting to know Ben and the different way of thinking really expanded my mind. I appreciate that so much about you.
Thank you.
True. Felt like I could talk to you so easily and share with you. That's the biggest thing. Desi, just having someone you feel connected with that you can share. The business is interesting and challenging. If you don't make connections, you can feel alone. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure. I think you and I had met, but didn't know each other.
I don't remember.
Maybe I just wasn't standing out. Maybe that's what it was.
You're not impressive until New York.
Yeah,
Everything's different in New York.
yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and it's a total honor. So thank you.
You're going to share with us some tactical things about how you do your business and how essentially you feel that even if you've got some limitations, you can still grow, right?
Yeah, I've always been curious about how people get to their next level. And that's like an infinite game. There's no end to that. One of the things I love about real estate is there's no income ceiling. It's, yeah, but there's also no bottom either. You can go to zero, you can go well past that.
Yeah, you can go under zero.
Right? Most people accumulate a ton of debt. I did. I was 45 grand in debt by my third year in real estate. I was super committed to making it work, even though I felt broken and low self-esteem. I had confidence, but no self-esteem when I was getting going. It took me a while to get to that place where I was like, this is good. I think more than anything, if I had someone that just said to me when I got started, here's 10 things, do them consistently all the time, or here's 3 or 5 things, but commit to these and do them all the time. Become aware of what you're not doing and why. If somebody gave me those few things, it would have been a total game changer. But when people get started in real estate now, there's 1,001 things that they think that they should be doing. Some people are like, I want to get into Instagram to sell real estate or because you want to be loved. What are you really after? And I think lots of people fall into that celebrity seeking because they think that's what real estate is, but it's a business first and last. Everything else falls to the wayside when you're not fully focused on the end goal.
100%. You've been in real estate for 23 years, and real estate was completely different at that time. I hear what you're saying. If somebody just would have given you some direction,
Yeah.
and I felt the same way. Real estate was like sink or swim. You leave the course, and if you don't have a mentor, that wasn't the like identity of real estate at that time, like coaching, mentorship,
Nope.
connection, right?
No, it wasn't a thing. When I got started, I was 27 bartending. And a guy said to me, he was a real estate agent, had been with Remax for a long time. And he goes, look, if you're getting into real estate, there's 2 ways that you should get started and only 2 ways. He said, you either go into new home sales until you get to a place where you feel confident enough and you've had some success. And if you want to go on and get your real estate license, then you do that, which really, I don't think anybody ever would recommend that these days. It's not really the same type of thing, but still a good way. I think it's a lot harder to get a job with new home construction than it would have been before. Or the other thing is he was like, join a team or start under an agent that's more experienced. So I did. I started underneath an agent that was more experienced. I was her assistant for 6 months, and then we created a partnership. She was leaving a family business in real estate. She didn't have the skills to go, here are the 5 things you need to do consistently all the time. So she didn't even know because her business had just come as a result of the overflow from the family business. I didn't learn, she didn't learn. Finally, I was like, let's do this course. She's like, it's $1,000. I'm like, we need something. And it was all about cold calling and different things. And I was like, oh God. But here's the biggest thing I discovered, and you guys probably run into this all the time. It's like, it almost doesn't matter what you do. Some things are way better than others and way more effective than others. And that's the beauty of being more experienced. But if you just get out there and start smashing up against all the walls and barking up all the trees, stuff falls off the trees and then you get your start. I just didn't have enough action because I didn't know what to do. I was ready to go. I just didn't know what to do. And we did this course. It was all about cold calling, started cold calling a ton. The cold calling led to coffee dates with other people. Then I just got going. But I think the biggest thing again is just not enough activity on the part of brand new agents. And then shortly after that, I got into this really bad anxiety phase. Desi, sorry, go ahead there.
No, I love that because anything will work if you do it enough times. As new agents, you're always chasing the shiny object and willing to pay to learn what you don't know.
Yeah.
Money up front will always reward you. Love what you said about anything will work if you do it enough times.
Some things will work better than others, but and the other part is I think what we forget is we're always underestimating ourselves because if you did just pick one thing, like door knocking, I'm a 23-year realtor, so that was big at the time. Guess what? Massive resurgence in door knocking over the past 5 years. Why? Because it still works. Everybody wants to sit in front of the camera and do videos, or at least they think they do. Who actually gets business from that is a very small slice of the pie. Not,
Door
it's not a
knocking was
part of it.
personal. The door knocking is personal, right? It gets face to face. You feel like you've made a connection with people. People aren't making connections, like actual
Yes,
connections with people any longer
that's right.
because of social media hiding behind the camera concept. So
Totally agree. The other big thing is how much of ourselves we bring to it. If you're just knocking on doors, but you're like, this is never going to work, or people will never choose me as a realtor, or I'm not good enough, or whatever story you're telling yourself, that dictates your outcomes almost despite what you're doing. But if you show up and you're like, I'm scared to death, but I got to get this business, then that's a different story.
do you have a list of 5 things?
It's different for everybody. Honestly, I believe that. Because everybody has a different strength. So I've got this one guy I'm coaching. When we first sat down, I just asked him a bunch of questions. What are you good at? What do you like to do? Where do you shine? Where do you feel best? Where do you come alive? And I just love being in front of people. I'm like, open houses, door knocking, get in front of the camera. He's really good in front of the camera. And so I said, how do you feel about door knocking? I don't care. I just love talking to people. I was like, knock on 100 doors before every open house, every new listing, your business will blow up. Let's have you do that, all this prospecting activity, and build up your bank account. Once you get cash, we'll reinvest that into marketing that's going to be evergreen, that will serve your business. You can bring on other agents if you want double, triple income in a few years. He's willing to go for it. Most people don't want to do it that way. And that's okay, as long as you're specific about the way that you do want to do it, I think.
So you're suggesting you dive into kind of where their strengths are, and then you pick your 2 to 5 things that you're really good at, be consistent at it. So door knocking, yes, open houses, in addition to social, because that's huge. You're consistent and you build on that, then one day all of a sudden you're going to have this social stream that you've worked on and built, but then
Yep.
also the actual client base. So you've
Yep.
got both rolling out.
These days, you can see who's looking at your content, who's engaging. When you put content out there and you ask people to engage with it, and they do, all of a sudden now you're starting to create content specifically for them or conversations with them. How
Mhm.
quickly can you meet them for a coffee? How quickly can you create content unique to them? There's so many ninja ways now to increase conversations and conversions for sure. I think the other big thing is you asked me, what are the things you want to talk about? And I said, I really don't have a lot of self discipline. People are like, what are you talking about? You've got this big team and you sell a lot of homes. One thing's for sure is that I really do not have a lot of discipline. I've always struggled with impulse control, but one of the key things is I recognize where I'm super weak. And I recognize that if I don't get support in those areas, I'll never get what I want. I'll never live the life I want. I'll never have my day to day experience of how I really want to live my life. And I'll give you an example. So let's say, for instance, so right now I'm planning a specific content strategy. And so I know for me that I'm not going to do the editing. I'm not going to consistently sit down, even with all the AI software. I won't take the raw video, put it into the thing, pull out the videos I want, and then post them. I just will not do it. I will never get down to it, either because I'm too afraid or it's too tedious, whatever the reason is. So I recognize I have to get someone else to do that for me. And ultimately, the biggest metric is, does it get to market or not? I'm willing to systematize that process because if I don't, nothing will happen. So I don't have the discipline, despite how much I want that, to just sit down and really make it happen. So I need to fill that gap with someone else, right? I either fill it with a tool or a process or something, but I'll build the process as we go. So it'll become this 30-step checklist that we do, but we start from zero with me going, I don't know, let's just figure it out. Yeah, Desi, sorry.
I think that's awesome because I think one thing that a lot of people struggle with is knowing their weaknesses and being able to admit, like, I'm not going to do it. And so just being willing to be like, yeah, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
it. That's
exactly. Yeah,
awareness.
yeah.
And then I love that you're systematizing it into an SOP. So then you could sell that or you can help other people with that process because it's okay, I'm starting from ground zero, might as well document the whole thing. And then it's just plug and play, which is so great.
I think so too. For me, it's a function of need, right? It comes from a function of weakness. And it's funny, I recently heard someone say, if you're acting out of weakness, you're never going to get the results that you want. I couldn't disagree more. I don't believe that's true. We'll often do stuff we're afraid of, right? If you're afraid and do it anyway, you are acting out of weakness, but that's doing the right things, right? If I'm hiring a VA to do a specific steps in a content strategy because I don't have the chops, time, energy, effort, or focus or discipline, then it's the right thing to do. You got to know your weaknesses. The only time people have difficulty seeing that is when they're really hung up in their image, like the way they come across to people. So they're like, I can't admit weakness. If I do, people will devalue me. But that's really not the world we live in now. The world's different, I think.
I was just going to say, being able to be vulnerable is a really huge piece in being able to connect with people and appeal to people and grow. Like even just what you're saying, Ben, admitting vulnerability draws me in. It makes you relatable.
I think so too.
Instead of just being like, I'm awesome, I sell houses all the time, I'm doing these things, everything's great. You're like, actually, I suck at that. And
Yeah.
this is what I do to get past it.
I love that so much. I thought before I was like, okay, I'm a mom of five. Everyone needs to think my home life is perfect. My kids are always dressed cute. Like I have a hot dinner on the table. And so I used to always post about, oh, I made dinner tonight. I'm gonna post this because I like actually did it. Whereas most of the time we're but started posting more real stuff. That vulnerability creates relatability and makes people trust you more because nobody has all their shit together. Yeah.
When I
You know, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, wouldn't you say too, if you are vulnerable and somebody doesn't want to work with you because of that, like they're not your person.
Yeah.
If they don't want to be in your world, if
Yeah.
they don't want to be your client, if they don't want to be on your team,
Yeah.
it's a real easy way to clear the decks. Room for people who are your people.
Yeah. I think the other thing that's super important, and the two of you will have a great appreciation for this, is like when we are doing something new and it's a project that we really want to happen, it's not something we're taking lightly. So we're okay to make mistakes. We know that we're going to fail, fall down, look stupid. These things are part of it. You can't be all together when you're doing that, right? Like you just can't. So that is just simply part of the entire process of accomplishing and creating something that matters. It's not going to happen. I'm a big believer we rise to our highest level of limiting beliefs. We have rules within ourselves that dictate what we allow into our lives. When I look at my business and I think about where it is today and where I would like it to be and all of the different parts and pieces, I'm always trying to take massive leaps, but really I'm very satisfied with any amount of progress. I'm very dissatisfied and unsatisfied with a lack of progress. I'm revamping, tossing out the old, bringing in the new, changing things. Most people don't do enough inner reflection to recognize their limitations and difficulties around things that would really help them level up. We all think I'd love to do 20% more business, but what's the cost? I'll be too busy. I won't be with my family enough. The quality of service will drop or it'll be too chaotic. But there's this fear gap that says if I move in that direction, I'm inviting all this pain I can't deal with because I'm already too busy. So I can't have that 20% because I'm not enough to fill this gap. My game every day, what I try and do is just literally just eliminate that gap. So I'm always working to find how do I think I'm not enough? Why am I not showing up better? There's only so many places I can challenge myself on a day-to-day basis because it's the work, it's the deep work, it's the hard work, it's the stuff that says, I recognize, I feel like I'm not enough to get this off, to pull this off, to do this. What is it? What's the code? And how can I let that go? And how can I think it's important that each of us take the time to do that. Like every single day, what's not working? How am I not showing up? Why am I not showing up? What am I afraid of? How can I collapse that?
Form it in a what if question. What if I changed this or did this and question it and answer that question?
Tim Ferriss has this thing called, and it's not his, but he popularized it as he does with most stuff, is it's called fear setting. So fear setting is where you project yourself into the future to having the thing, right? Hey, I want 20% more business. Okay, there I am. I've got 20% more business. What's going on? My life is complete chaos. How do I feel about that? I can't deal with it. Okay. So there you go. So I feel like I can't, if I'm attracting or bringing in 20% more business or doing that, I won't be able to handle it. Why won't I handle it? Because I'm not enough to handle the conflict, chaos, people, what is it? So then you just sit with it, allow yourself to observe. And it's okay, if I'm doing more business, I'm going to offer less service. If the service isn't good enough, people will be upset. I can't handle people being upset. When you care enough to offer good service, you don't want to drop that standard, then you have tied a fear around a drop in standard to people getting upset. We all have our own standards. If there's a drop you're not willing to accept, I'm not willing to accept that either. Usually, if I just think about a goal or the way I'm not showing up, I can feel something in my gut. And I'll be like, okay, what is that? And then it's okay, I'm afraid of this, or I'm afraid of that, or I'm afraid of internet trolls, or I'm afraid of whatever it is. Like, you put yourself out there, wow, they come out like weeds.
They do.
It's okay.
I love that.
I got some good ones. Desi?
They always get after Liz for her bracelets.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't have as many on today.
You have to do a post about that. I love it when
For
people do
all
the
the
troll posts.
bracelets. Bracelets and glasses. I was really getting hit for the bracelets and the glasses.
Yeah.
Usually they were like middle-aged white men, just saying.
yeah, they have a strong opinion on bracelet wearing.
Yeah.
Great,
No, I
great
love
Max.
what
Old,
you're saying.
gray-haired Remax. Who were you with before?
I was at home brokerage before we
Okay.
switched over. But I love what you're saying because deep work is hard work. One of my issues, I'm scared of the deep work. Do I really want to know what I'm scared of? Maybe I don't. But having that awareness, you can find a solution. If you're scared of the chaos when you increase your business by 20%, I need a person. What kind of person do I need to continue to provide the service I want to provide? You can find a solution. But for me, I'm so busy, I don't have time to sit and think for 5 to 10 minutes a day. It's so important. It's probably the most impactful 30 minutes of your day.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So Gary Keller, he has written a couple books, but one of the books is The One Thing. You read it?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember the question, Desi?
What's the one thing that would change everything?
Essentially, it's what is the one thing I could implement in my business today that would make everything else easier or obsolete, right?
Mhm.
Unnecessary. I don't ask myself that enough, but it's a really valid question because it just starts to filter down all the others. Like, I look at my to-do list, I'm like, does this need to be on my to-do list? And if I look at my day-to-day thing, I'm like, wow, and like half of my day is wasted on things that are not moving me towards more important goals. Here I am, 23 years later, still aware, but need to ask that question more often. Valid. I should be asking myself the question of, why am I taking time out of my day to do these things that have little impact when I should be doing this other stuff? It's because I'm afraid of that big goal happening. I'm okay with a crawl to it as opposed to a run, but we should be running towards our big goals more.
Lots to think about. You're very good at helping other people. I could see how it would be something you could work on for yourself, but you're excellent at I just felt so after I left New York, I felt I had lots of answers, specific questions that sort of got to the bottom of like, why is that? Why is this? Why do you do that? That kind of thing. And you dug out that, what was it? You called it fear setting. I felt changed afterwards. You are getting into coaching, right?
Yeah, I started doing a little bit of it. It's something I had been thinking about doing for a while. And I was concerned if I offer it, maybe it'll take off too much and take me away from my bigger goals and stuff. And my wife's always, stop taking on new things. She's not wrong, but I see it as an evolution. I'll do things out of a strong desire, want, or need. Sometimes you feel called to do something and it's got to happen. I started doing some of the speaking stuff lately. And my wife's, is this just an ego need for you or what is it? And I said, no, it is an expression of myself that I have to bring out. I don't feel like it's optional. It feels like something I must do. Scared or not, I had to bring that out. I'm just having so much fun with it. It serves a bigger purpose.
I think you are called to do it. I definitely feel like you could take on coaching and take it to the next level. Maybe you could do something different with it and shift your business to that like next level with that as an additional piece of it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I still don't see it fully clearly, and that's okay. Just little pieces at a time. Yeah.
When did you start speaking? When in the last year? Have you been speaking on? You're going to have been at our conference with the medicine hat. We'll add some extra clips from that.
I'm excited too. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be talking about anxiety and panic attacks. I had a pretty dark chapter in my life there, and I don't know that I would be the person I am today without that, but I'm not one to say, thank you. I'm so grateful for my anxiety and panic attacks. I'm not grateful for it. I don't feel I needed to get to a place of gratitude, but I'm aware it served a massive purpose for transformation, right? I feel like other things could have and would have gotten me here anyway. But so anyway, yeah, I am excited about the speaking. I used to work at this local ski hill in Nova Scotia called Martok. One day, the manager said, I got a job for you. I want you to do safety presentations at elementary schools. He goes, you'd be perfect for this. And I was like, what are you paying me and how does this work? I was like, okay, sure. I think I was maybe 19 at the time. And I would drive to schools across Nova Scotia and put on fun safety presentations about skiing and introducing people to skiing and stuff, because that was the whole model, was get these kids excited about skiing in elementary school, create a skiing program, bring them to the ski hill. Like, it was smart for them. Anyway, so the first time I did it, I was just literally watching the guy and he knew exactly what he was doing. He's just, off you go, tell them about this stuff. I was there in front of these little kids. Over a period of the season, I got fun with it. And I was like, how do I get them to laugh more? I'll say this, I played with the way I would do it for maximum impact. At the end, my focus was a standing ovation kind of thing. I've always been one of those guys that likes to just take something and just tweak it till it's better. That's what I'm doing right now with the speaking stuff and having fun with it. This time around, I haven't been speaking much at Rise in the fall. And I was like, I think I need to get up on stages. I need to speak. And so I was like, how do I do this? And then before the end of the event, someone had, hey, why don't you come speak on my stage? I was like, what? I just decided yesterday I was going to do this. And then, so he invited me, and then that event didn't happen, but I ended up just doing some stuff with the local board, started getting comfortable with it, and started like poking other people and, hey, can I come do this? And can I come speak? And people are like, yeah, that'd be great.
I just can't wait to meet you in real life. It's going to be amazing.
IRL, as they say. I'm looking forward to it too, actually. I have been for quite a while. I can see and watch your videos, and I love the work you're doing. And the fact that you guys are teamed up together, doing great stuff. I love it. It's good.
Thank you.
And your background is like next level.
Mine kind of changes. I haven't got mine all figured out yet, but Desi's got it nailed.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Where did you get your sign? I need to get one.
My husband ordered it for me. I'll send you a link.
Great. I tried to get a bunch made in China, but it didn't go well.
Is there a compound of things you've bought that just aren't quite up to snuff?
Business, Liz. Yes. I have lots of things, but my most favorite one was, which I think you have. I got you some.
Oh yes, I love
socks,
them.
real socks.
I wore them with my sneaks, my high heel running shoes.
Yes, I wear them with these guys over here, which
They're cool. Usually before we wrap up, we ask one question. If you could go back in time or offer some advice, what would one piece of advice be to someone starting out or someone looking to shift their business?
I think if you're looking to level up your business, or if you're just getting going, it's the same advice, which is it's important to recognize your strengths and to really lean into those things, provided those strengths lead you to do something that you'd like to do. That's the first part. The second part is you really do need people to help you. You need processes that you can build your business on, and you need programs like the 3Ps to help you really have a business that can just crank and make you tons of money and give you the freedom that you're looking for. Realtors do not understand that concept enough. We really need that. You're going to have problems, difficulties, challenges, and fears. You're going to get poked in all of your soft spots. Coming in as a new realtor, building a team, doubling your business, or getting to over 1 million GCI, whatever your goals are, writing a book, starting a podcast, you're going to have problems, difficulties, and challenges. The problems and difficulties and challenges that arise do not arise because what you're doing is hard only. They arise because of your makeup. Desi, if you pick a project and I pick the same, we're working on the same project, we're going to be challenged in different places, right? You're going to get challenged in your weak spots. So we have to recognize our weaknesses and learn how to change the beliefs around that, so you become the person that can simply do that. If you learn to own that and change the beliefs around it, you will become the person that can knock on doors, love it, and have fun with it. That changes everything. Those 3 chunks are the one thing anybody can use to level up big time.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take some of that away today. Add that to my toolkit today.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming and joining
My
us.
pleasure.
And you are writing a book, right?
I am. Actually, I'm about 95% through the first draft. Pretty excited.
We're going to have you back. Desi,
Cool.
Yes.
I love to.
we expect a signed copy.
Okay. I'll tell you what, quick plug. So when the book's available, you can get it at therealbensuite.com. There you go.
Okay.
Is that how people can get a hold of you, or do you have an Instagram handle too?
Yeah. Just at, or whatever. I don't even, is it at, or is it hashtag, or what's the, yeah, exactly.
We'll find you. We'll drop it
Real
in.
Ben Suite.
We'll
Just
drop it in
Google
the
the Real Ben Suite.
comments.
So,
Yeah, for
awesome.
sure. Well, thank you
Thanks
so
for
much
having me.
joining
I
us.
appreciate
can't
it.
wait to